Shallow mermaids, it's Mermaid Calissa here today. I've got in front of me several of our larger monofins on the market, and I'm super excited to give you a review. So today I've got in front of me a couple different monofins. I know this is not all of the larger monofins that are out there on the market. However, I've got a couple of my favorites and then a few generic things to look at that just encompass a lot of monofins I've seen. So as you watch these reviews, comment below, let us know what ones you want to see, what monofins you've been interested in, and which monofins are your favorite. All right, the first one I'm going to review is our Mahina monofin. Now the Mahina monofin is personally one of my favorites. This is where I started my mermaid journey. It's got a little bit narrower foot pocket though. I'm a size 7.5 US women's sizes, and I know a lot of people complain about the narrowness of this foot pocket. I definitely had to break in my Mahina monofin. I prefer to wear dive socks with the Mahina. One of my favorite things about this monofin though is its beautiful mermaid shape. I started making my own tails out of just swim fabrics, and this was a great structure for those sorts of tails. It also fits in a lot of the top larger tail brands. My favorite thing about the swimmability of this is that the drain holes are on the bottom, so I feel like the leverage with it just runs really smooth. It drains out of the bottom, so I don't feel like my ankles have to do a lot of extra work to pull through the water. It's really large, looks beautiful, and it makes you go really fast. So this is a newer monofin on the market. This is FinFun's Elite Tail monofin. It is the Oasis. I personally own 2 of these. I've had one for about 3 years now, and then a newer one that I recently got. It's got a style that's a little bit more classic swim fin. We've got the back adjustable straps, and then the drainage pockets on the front. The fun thing about this monofin is the ends are bendy, so you can fit this in a carry-on suitcase. I personally just took a cruise and fit one of these monofins in my carry-on along with 4 FinFun tail skins. It was quite impressive. This one I really like. The foot pockets are super comfy. They're a little bit wider foot pocket, so compared to the Mahina monofin, they're smooth, they're wide, much less time to break them in. I would compare this most to the Mermaid Linden monofin, another favorite of mine that we don't have here today, but it's a super solid, really fun monofin, travels great, fits in a lot of tails. There's a one-size-fits-all currently. The biggest complaint I've heard about this fin is that it does not fit all sizes. If you have larger feet or wider feet, it is a little bit of a struggle. But I have seen many different feet sizes fit this one. It's got that adjustable back strap and a little bit wider of a foot pocket, so it has surprisingly fit many of my friends. All right, my next monofin is Magictail DE out of Germany. To be honest, I haven't seen this one around very often, so I'm not sure if they are in production anymore. If they are, let me know. But I've seen a lot of similar monofins to this style. It's a really good custom tail. This one is very similar in size to the Mahina. It's a little bit wider, but it's also thinner. So I think most Mahina tails will also fit this monofin as well. My biggest thing that's a pro on this one is anybody's feet can fit it. The foot pockets are quite flexible. You've got that little sock insert, so you can fit a lot of different foot sizes in here. It's also a con because you don't get as much leverage with that foot pocket in order to lift and move that monofin. If you've ever swam in the FinFun Monofin Pro, it's a little bit difficult to get that leverage on your feet so that you can get good propulsion. This one's much larger, so it's also kind of difficult. It does have a strap over the foot top, but it still flows a little bit differently. Let's see if I can lift this one. All right. Here I have the beautiful Mertailor Fantasy Fin 2. Gorgeous fin. This is full silicone. So this has that professional, it's so wiggly. This has that professional mermaid tail feel. The skins that go on this are so pretty. Personally, I have spent way too many hours of my life putting this monofin into the tail skin. It is a chore. These monofins are so heavy. Pros and cons. Pro, you sink in the water and it helps with your buoyancy. If you are performing, if you know what you're doing, if you are comfortable with your breath hold, that is fantastic. Con, the first time I ever tried one of these monofins, I thought I was going to drown. The heaviness is very different. It's a very different style of swimming. as opposed to the Mahina that I started in, where you go fast, you are pretty light. The Mermaid fins, you are heavy, you go slow, it flows, it's beautiful. This one is great for tank performing. This one's great for fun underwater videos. This one is great for meet and greets with kids because it's got that flop to it. So when the kids come and touch your tail, it feels like a muscled animal. It's kind of awesome. Now looking at these monofins, we're gonna talk about the price point of each of these fins. Starting with the Magictail monofin, I could not find a price point for these. I'm not sure if they're currently in production, like I said earlier. I have not been able to find a retailer that sells them right now. So if you have any information on that, we'd love to hear it. But as far as the price point goes, I wanna say it was around $100. It's been a few years since I've heard from these guys. The next monofin I'm gonna talk about is the FinFun Oasis monofin here. It's about $120. Shipping is really quick. You can bundle it with the tail skins, which is really awesome. This is made specifically to go with the vinyl inserts and their elite tails. It is currently on sale for about $100. You can find it in deals every once in a while. That bundle is one of my favorites. And just by itself, it's an awesome fin to go swimming in. It's a great price. It runs about the same as a lot of other competitive fins I've seen. The next monofin I'm gonna look at is the Mahina. The Mahina monofin actually comes from Australia. It's made out of recycled materials, which is really awesome. You can get it in a couple different colors, so there's a few different price points with it. The basic Mahina fin is about $125. Since this is an Australian company, shipping seems to vary based on where you're shipping to. So that's definitely something to factor into the price and think about when you order one of these. I've seen many tail skins made to house the Mahina. It's a great structure and it goes well with fabric tails. All right, because my arms are tired, I'm going to leave this one down a little lower, but you all know the fantasy fins. This is Mermaid's full silicone fin. It is beautiful work. It is around $350. So it's a pretty solid piece of equipment. You can also add on an extra 50, 65 bucks to get custom colors for this monofin. Final thoughts about these larger monofins. If you are somebody who likes to travel, you like to do outdoor photo shoots, you like to hike, you like to go to natural bodies of water, I would personally recommend the FinFun Oasis tail or the Mahina. They're a little bit lighter. Like I mentioned earlier, that FinFun tail folds up and is really travel friendly. So these guys are great to pack around. They fit well in a lot of tails. If you're somebody who likes to swim around looking beautiful, very nice and slow, or you like to do meet and greets with kids, I'd recommend the Fantasy from Mermaid. If you have a custom project that you are working on and you want to make a very unique tail, I would recommend something like this because there are a lot of custom monofin makers out there that will do some of that like plexiglass, that harder insert with a different foot pocket to go with it. Thanks for watching our monofin tail review. We know that these are not all of the monofins out there. Please comment below and let us know what monofins you would love to see a review of, what monofins you have swam in, and what monofins you would like to swim in the future. In our next video, we're going to talk about some tail skin reviews for tails that fit these monofins, so make sure to check that out below.